China's e-bike revolution continues. This nifty model here folds up and is lightweight. It has a standard sized e-bike battery. This in terms of power. It is a little smaller, I will say, than the full-size bikes, but it still puts out some pretty good power, and about 200 watts, by the way. So, and you can take this anywhere. You can fold it up, go camping. You can even take it on an airplane. And this foldable bike here costs a lot less than what you would think, between $400 and $500 US on the street in China. And they're putting these all into skateboards. They're putting them into all kinds of devices to travel with. And I'll do some more updates on that when I see the models. But yeah, it's a pretty good build. And the frame made from alloys, lightweight alloys, and has a 1-year warranty on parts replacement and so on. Many models to choose from, and a fraction of what it would cost perhaps in your country to buy. There's a couple here, Westerner, and a Chinese couple here looking at the bike, asking about the pricing, and considering getting it because it's so compact, and it's you can use it for pedal or you can use it for the electric motor. And that's why they're taking a look at it. They can take it on the metro and go from stop to stop. And then these flat tails here, these are the more durable e-bikes. They cost a little bit more, they sit a little bit higher, but these are the hogs that a lot of the e-bike taxi drivers use because they're so durable. The other ones here are more for comfort and style, and they cost a little bit less, but they have a greater feature set. But they're not made for you know, the pounding, the weather, and the durability that these things are, with the hard tails. And they've got that shape in the front of the bike, and the fork is more durable too. So you get less feature set, you get more durability, you can use them for taxis, the frame is better, and they last. Whereas with these, they're just really more for the commuter and for even housewives drive these a lot. Here's the inside of a full-size e-bike, and as you can see, the battery is taken out. Those batteries are just very small in comparison to a car battery, but down there is where you have the sticky tape or the fasteners and brackets for the battery device and the motor. On top here you have some other electronics here. You've got right there's the speaker for the horn, you've got the turning lights, you got the electronics that go to the various compartments, a security system that beeps when you take the key and activate it out. Right there's the key. It's got a keychain with an activator on it, and it's also got on the tires, you've got like a lockout device. You can lock that tire out and activate the electronic alarm, and you've got 2 ways that you can secure your bike. In the front tire, many people use U-locks, standard U-locks, and they're able to secure their bike. These things cost anywhere between about 3,000 RMB and 6,000 RMB, and warranty is about a year on parts replacement, and it's not bad. You know, the feature set, there's a lot of features. There's even heated pads for the handles if you live in a cold weather climate. There's a greater, I guess, windshield that you can put on these, and you can also soup up the battery and the motor, replace these parts and soup it up, modify it, and it will go even faster than what the government recommends for e-bikes. Fresh safety batteries coming in. You can fit 5 of those into a standard size shipping box, and they're getting smaller and smaller with more power. Both the batteries and the motors are improving rapidly. So yeah, there's a little bike there for family. A lot of school kids ride on the back and that rumbler seat there back there, while the moms or dads or whatever pick up their kids from school, basket in the front and so on. 多少钱一个？一个100块。
买一个啊，
一个
一个120，120块。
120块
嗯，
120块一个。See, 1, 2, 3, 4, 4.
付600。
这个。
这个50。
Oh, okay. 5 of those go in one of those hardtail bikes. They pack 5 in there. They hook it up to the motor, fasten it, and then that's the deal. So you're looking at about, in China, only about $150 worth of batteries, maybe even less wholesale, that go into these bikes. And it would be a lot more in the West to get that configuration. Right there, you're looking at a 48-volt battery model. It's got a lighter frame than the full-size model. It's like it, but it's still big enough to hold adult and child when it's riding. It's got a U-lock on the front of it, and it's got a kickstand on the back of it, and it uses pedal or electric. Some of these models you can actually pedal charge the battery. They're a little more expensive, but you know, if you run low on battery, you can pedal it up. It'll have a power converter on there, and those are rather nifty too. But I would say this model would be a little bit lower cost. As you can see in this bike, it's a power converter there. Plug it into a standard outlet. Some of them take a different kind of outlet, more of an older hybrid right here. It's almost a hardtail, but it's not. It's actually a little bit of both, but I would say that this is a little bit older bike, but it's lasted quite a long time. And you see it's got the small seat in back for kid, and there's the shocks there for the tail, and then in the front, the fork, you got shocks there too. And yeah, so I mean, the cost per kilometer for getting one of these versus bus, taxi, or car is a great buy. I mean, the money thing works out quite well for most Chinese. In the long run, they make out quite well on it. A big part of the reason why that they make out quite well on the cost is that they don't have to plug these in to their own electric outlet. Most housing complexes in China have outlets for the e-bikes, and it's no charge to the homeowner. So they charge these up at night, they drive them away, they ride them for several years, and they pay less than they would if they took the subway or taxi. And owning a car, as you know, in China is very expensive. The cost of oil and gas is much higher here than in many parts of the world, so it just makes more sense for them to buy something like this when it's so cheap, you know, and they can get any type of bike they want, any size, and there's plenty of replacement parts available, and they're relatively cheap to replace. And that's kind of how it goes. As you see, there's no license on this bike, and a lot of e-bikes throughout China don't have a license plate on it because the government, you know, again, governments are this way, especially here, they don't release enough licenses for the number of bikes. They limit it each year, and that's kind of a communist thinking, you know. They'll give only, you know, 10, 20,000 when the demand is 40,000 for something. And that creates a black market, and it also creates people that are willing to ride these things illegally, and they get caught and get fined and so on. And that's the story on e-bikes. Hardly anybody licenses them, and that goes also for the motorbikes as well.